So I just wanted to start this video today by just giving a round of applause. And who am I giving this round of applause to? Well, it's to the people who have been not only buying, not only holding, but who have not panic sold during this 3 to 4 months of uncertainty with the new president, with tariffs, with all these things in the economy, with what's going on with the Fed. All these people who have held onto your stocks and just kept buying, right? Kept buying at these low, undervalued prices. You guys all deserve a round of applause. Seriously, if you've been buying during these times, just put in the comments right now. Like just put like a thumbs up in the comments. I'll know who you are. And I just want to say congrats to you. Your portfolio is it's there. You know, if you've been buying past couple months, check your portfolio. You might still be down on a few stocks, but look at the S&P 500. It's almost a V-shaped recovery. We're almost back to all-time highs, right? Obviously, some stocks have a long way to go, right? Tesla has a way to go. A lot of the Mag 7, Amazon, it's getting up there. The S&P 500 is getting closer. Listen, we're not completely back, but we're getting close, and it's getting pretty good. We're in we were in the character. We went from the rising action to the conflict to now, we're getting up there. We're getting towards the climax. So we had to go through the character conflict, but now we made it out, and this is what's going on. So as you can see here, we got the trade war news, right? What's going on with the trade war? Why did today the stocks popped insanely, right? So yeah, it says 2 days of high-stakes talks between the U.S. and China have led to a 90-day pause on tariffs. Yay, right? It almost seems like the entire market is based around Donald J. Trump and his political agenda. Not even economics. Not even the stocks. All these companies are earnings. With duties set to drop by 115 percentage points on both sides by Wednesday, with President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping now likely to talk in the coming days. So then they said some other stuff. Basically, there's some good news in the China and America trade war. Obviously, that's the biggest one. That's their biggest competitor in this, Trump trade war. So anyways, yeah, so that's why stocks popped. Anyways, right now, what's going on with earnings? On the earnings side, we got quarter 1 earnings coming to a close. This has been pretty recently. As you can see, last week we had a great week. Shopify, NVO, Uber, Pinterest, what other Trade Desk, Coinbase, Lucid, and Palantir. Obviously on Monday, that was amazing, beautiful. I just made a video about Palantir, and what we got now. So this week, honestly, not too crazy. Actually, they forgot to include on Tuesday, we got new earnings. So that's after the bell. And yeah, so then the rest of it, and the week after this one, the week after next week is obviously Nvidia, which always comes at the end. But yeah, so as I said here, many bangers, right? Amazon, SoFi, Palantir, Google, Microsoft, right? Like all of these amazing companies. I guess, the bum of the bunch is definitely Tesla. Obviously, we went over that. But seriously, there's no slowdown in these companies. We're not seeing any kind of slowdown. It's not like they're lowering their guidance and expectations because of tariffs. We didn't see any of that. And yeah, so it's honestly looking pretty great on the actual earnings side of the whole situation, and now it's starting to look good on the trade war side of the situation. So listen, it's been pretty great. Quarter 1 earnings served us well, and almost coming to a close. And yeah, so I just want to show you guys on TradingView. This is the S&P 500. Look at us, guys. We took a huge dip from around just over 600. Now we dropped down all the way down to the 400s, right? If you were buying the 400s, like, you're just insane. That's amazing, right? And now look at us, almost back to 600. Like nothing ever happened. Like almost like nothing ever happened, right? If you look from here, right, from the top 615 down to 582, that's just like a minor dip, right? It doesn't even look like anything. So listen, it's great. And if you kept buying, if you didn't stress out and worry and you just kept buying, listen, I'm just saying you're pretty happy. And I'm pretty happy, right? I do what I say. Anyways, so here's the main important part is that what are we going to learn from this? So the first thing you got to know is that the market switches on a dime, right? Not even like, think about it. It didn't even take weeks, right? Like, look at this. Look at this V-shaped recovery. How long did it take? I don't know. Like, this is like the span of like 2 weeks, right? Not even like a month. Like, hold on, let's go on TradingView. So yeah, we can look at the S&P 500 and we can see, look at this recovery right here, right? Just the past 14 days, just the past 2 weeks. Look at that. Oh my gosh, right? Like this doesn't just happen like in months and months. Like this is happening in weeks, right? Like look how long it took it back in 2022, right? A while. Took so long, right? But right now we're in a market where it's changing insanely quick, right? Things are happening all the time. And that's what you have to realize, that you always just have to be prepared, because the market, I'm not even saying, oh yeah, we're completely safe forever. Like, no, like just the same way that it can go up, it can go down. And, the market tomorrow, how do you know tomorrow we won't be, low 500s? We could, you know what I mean? But you just always have to be ready for volatility, and just know that it's always changing quickly, like just on the, Tyreek Hill on a dime, switches on a dime, right? So the next thing you have to know is that learn how to detect unnecessary uncertainty, right? This is like one of the biggest lessons you can learn from this, is that everyone was so scared, right? So scared, even though companies were putting up great numbers and things were honestly looking great, but people were so scared about trade wars and, just piling on stress from people are selling. Oh, I got to sell. I'm worried, whatever, right? And that's what you have to learn how to detect this. Because if you can detect when there's unnecessary uncertainty, like what we just had, that's when you can make a ton of money. Because look, I don't know, like 3 weeks ago, were we in like economic recession, trauma, problem? No, not really, right? It's not like unemployment raised like 1,000,000%, right? Like nothing crazy happened. We are definitely not in a recession, right? But people are treating the stock market and selling as if we were in one. So that's what you have to be able to know, like, hey, people are over exaggerating. When people are over exaggerating, that's when you got to buy. You have to buy the fear and sell the greed. And yeah, so detect, like, you also have to detect when there's greed in the market, right? Like soon, probably we're going to be in a market where we're at all-time highs and everyone's like, oh, keep buying more. You just got to buy, keep buying. Even though it's overvalued, that's when you got to sell, right? Soon we're going to be saying, yeah, sell. I'm always telling you to buy, but soon it's going to be time, right? Anyways, realize the market is not just based off company earnings and that there's many factors involved, right? And this is literally what we were just talking about, saying the market, if you're looking at it from like an accounting perspective, you would think, okay, I'm going to invest in companies based on, how well is their income statement and balance sheet, right? Looking at the fundamentals, right? And you might think, okay, this company's doing great, had great Q1 earnings. Okay, I got to buy it. And that's honestly not a bad reason to buy, along with other things. But you have to realize that the entire market almost moves together. If you've looked at TradingView or Yahoo Finance once, before, you'll realize that stocks, there's usually up days and down days. Some days, some stocks will react, kind of rogue, but you'll see that stocks kind of move together. So there's definitely other factors involved. And obviously the biggest factor right now, what is it? Obviously it's Donald Trump and his policy agenda. So there's many other factors. Also the Fed, right? The Fed just maintained the rates, even though Trump didn't want, him to. So anyways, many factors involved. You have to consider many parts of the equation. Anyways, and then I said, keep buying and don't stop, right? This is almost just like, always, you have to have this in your mind. Just keep buying. Like seriously, if your company's undervalued And I mean, like if the stocks that you hold are undervalued right now and they're putting up great numbers, like Amazon or most of the Mag 7, right? Excluding Tesla, right? Like that's when you just should just keep buying. Like there's no, like, you know what I mean? If something's undervalued, it's a great company, great business model, backbone of our economy, you just got to keep buying. Like seriously, like Amazon. Anyways, and then I said, notice how your portfolio held up. And this is one that I really want to leave you with, is that you need to notice what your stocks did during the past 3-4 months, right? Like imagine you're in a relationship, right? When you're going through a relationship, obviously you're going to have times when there's going to be disputes or, problems and things are going to happen. But you want to see how is your partner going to react during these times, because if they don't react well and it's really bad, then it's not a good fit, right? You have to be with someone who's going to stand strong and, be okay during these times and make it through, right? Like we could see some stocks like Tesla during these times. What happened to Tesla? Okay, even though a lot of their 90% of their company is based in America, right? Their stock got beat the hardest. Unarguably, their stock got beat the hardest out of all of the Mag 7, right? And this is how Tesla is during most times of uncertainty, right? Like if you look during 2022, the stock also plummeted. So you have to realize there's some stocks that drop harder than others. Obviously, many stocks drop, like Amazon, and I would say 90% of the stock market dropped during the past couple months, right? But you have to see like some, like, okay, Palantir, right? Like that company, it did drop, but look, we're back. We're back to all-time highs, right? It came back. Same as like Amazon, it's slowly coming back. Same as Meta and Microsoft, right? All the Mag 7. So you have to notice, okay, was there a stock in my portfolio that like significantly dropped and did not come back? Then you might have to say, okay, this one might be more risky, and just know it doesn't mean that it's a bad investment, but it's just maybe you should do a smaller position size, right? Like there's some smaller cap stocks, obviously they're going to move bigger. They're going to move in bigger directions than the larger cap, like mega cap stocks, right? So make sure you just pay attention what's going on with the stocks in your portfolio and how they performed. It tells you a lot. And this is what I really, really think is important also for you to notice. So look at this. Good day. Pay attention to the left side right now, right? Good days happen in bad markets. What does that mean? Right? The 50 best days, right, of the 50 of the top growing percentage days of the S&P 500 index from 1992 to 2021, 50% of those days were during a bear market, like what we were just in, right? And we saw that one of the biggest gainer days of all time was literally just a couple weeks, not even a week ago. Or hold on. Biggest SP 500 day gains of all time. Look, the 8th biggest gaining day was on literally March 9th with a 9% gain, right? Not even, this was like the peak of the, actually the trough of the bear market, right? This was last month, like almost exactly a month ago. And we had the 8th biggest day in the S&P 500 of all time, right? Like who has that? Anyways, so that's what I want to show you, is that if you miss out, think about it. Do you want to be missing out on these biggest days? No, you don't. And 28%, we're during the first 2 months of a bull market, just the first 2 months, right? Which is almost what we're starting to look like. It's almost starting to look like a bull market. And then obviously the 22% are during the rest of it, are just during a bull market, right? But half of the biggest days are during bear markets, which just shows you that you cannot be missing these days. And look here, it literally proves that. Basically, it's saying if you were to invest, right, 10,000 from 1992 to 2021, and you just left it there in the S&P 500, if you invested all of the days, okay, you'd be 208,000, but you would be down 54% less if you had missed the 10 best days, right? And when are the 10 best days? Most likely during a bear market. So you don't want to be missing these days. Anyways, and then as you can see, 73% less you would be making on your investment if you missed the 20 best days. And then 83% if you missed the 30 best days. What about during the 50% of the best days, right? What about during the 25 best days if you missed it? So during here, you'd be losing about like 80% of your entire gains, right? So what are you doing, right? And that's why I wrote here. Some people say, oh yeah, I'll just sell right now. I'll buy back later when the market's going back up. That doesn't work. It literally does not work because you're like you really expect that you're going to be able to time every single one of these good days? No, you're not. And that like nobody can. It's not like a bad thing, but nobody can. Nobody has a crystal ball. I promise you, right? Actually, maybe they do at Goldman Sachs. I'm kidding. But don't have this mindset that I'm just gonna buy later. Like, no, you have to stick through it the entire time. If you want to catch these 50 best days, you have to be fully invested. It's like, why leave the party just as it's getting bad, just for, later when you left the party for it to become amazing. And then, oh, now you feel so bad for selling when it's low and now entering when it's high. Like, just don't sell and your problem is solved. Look, literally, think about it. It's just how the market works. Like, okay, you could have sold here, right? And then, like, if you sold here, okay, you would have saved yourself from this problem. But look, you're not going to be able to do that. And people who probably sold here or whatever, they probably bought back when it was like here, right? So why don't you just buy here and just hold all the way until here? Like, just literally just hold the freaking stock, and that's literally it. It's so simple. But anyways, because I promise you're not gonna be able to time the market. You can try, but it's really tough. But anyways, seriously, it's like you don't want to be missing these days. Literally just look at the chart. So yeah. And then here's literally the same thing too. It's like if you invested 10,000, right? From 2003 to 2022. So even a shorter time frame as in before. Look, 64,000 if you invested all the days. Then you drop significantly, right? It literally says 7 of the 10 best days took place in bear markets. Boom, right? That's literally like the last one, right? The 10 best days, those happened during bear markets. So it literally shows you, if you weren't invested during the bear market, you would have made 54% less on your money. That's literally what it's showing you. So, and then look, missing the 20 best days, now you're only at 17,000. And it just keeps going on. Like 93% lower if you miss the 60 best days. So all I'm trying to tell you, you don't want to be missing these days. They're really important. And we just had a great day today too. We're up almost 4% on the day. That's one of the best days, right? And look, when were the 10 best days in the market? Obviously, this is a little bit old, so they don't have 2025. But, we had up 8% around here, recently, only a month ago. So, like, it just really goes to show you. Look, the best day a month ago was 4-9, right? Boom. Look, I'll show you, right? This was it, right? 4-9. At the bottom, like, literally, it's proving my point. You are literally at the bottom of the barrel of the of the bear market, and we had the best day, one of the best days of all time, right? How can you be missing this? It's like, it makes me insane that people will try and sell and try to time it, because you can't. Anyways, sorry, I'm talking way too much. I'm just super passionate about this, and I want to explain to you how important it is. Anyways, I just wanted to end off with this, showing you the most valuable companies, and I just want to show you some of these amazing names. All of these are almost amazing names. And look at this. Look in the little corner over here, 34, number 34. We got Palantir, and it wasn't always like that. It was not. I promise you, it was not always like that. Palantir is eating up the market share, and I'm just saying, just wait. It's gonna be one of these. So seriously, take time. Look at these most valuable companies. Pick some of these, do some research on them, go watch some YouTube videos about them, and start buying. You know, it's not too late. You know, don't think it's too late. Even though I'm making this video, don't think it's too late. I promise you, don't think it's too late. It's always I promise you, it's always a great time to buy. Always a great, if you're hesitating whether to buy, just buy it. You know, obviously there's going to be some times when market's overvalued, but don't try to time it. I just try to explain it to you. Anyways, so thank you so much for watching. I'm really happy. If you sticked around till the end of the video, drop an emoji in the comments, say you stuck around till the end. I think this is one of my best videos. I'm so happy. And, you know, I'm happy about the stock market, man. It's, you know, it's looking great. Let's look at the portfolio before we end. I don't even want to show you Tesla. Look at Amazon, man. Biggest gainer of the Mag 7 today. Let's go. Man, look at us. Like, we were literally below 500. I remember telling people to buy below 500. I could probably pull up a transaction of me buying it below 500. I literally remember that. And now look, we're almost at 700. Look at Palantir. Like, tell me this isn't like mind-boggling to you. See, like, PayPal still has ways to go. But look at Nvidia. Look at New. New's earnings are tomorrow, so we're definitely going to be going over that. But anyways, sorry. I'm talking way too much. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much. Please leave a like, subscribe, anything, whatever. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.